I'm not sure. I think probably maths is probably still the most disliked subject at school, but I suspect history is the second most disliked, which is sad, isn't it?
It's because it's all about people, isn't it?
It's all about people.
I've had the good fortune to travel around the British Isles as a tour guide for many, many years. So I know places like Chester and York and Stratford and all the sort of honeypots. And the more I get to know about Dorchester, the more I realise that it ranks alongside these places, but is unknown, hidden, and yet fascinating.
Where we are now, this avenue of trees was planted in the 18th century to mark out where once had stood the Roman wall around Dorchester. Now we know the wall came on this northern side here. Whether it continued along by the river or whether they just used that natural slope as the defence on the northern side. And was it actually defence? So let's just walk on and see what we can find.
When I do a tour around the town, when I started anyway, I'd get sort of 2.5 people and a dog. And then I discovered that of course people do have an interest in spectres and phantoms and ghouls and ghosts. So I started 10, 15 years ago running a ghost walk.
So here we are in Grey School Passage, and you're thinking, we've been walking around for over an hour, and not only have you not had a drink, which is, you know, which we must agree is a personal bliss, but we haven't seen any ghosts. But may I remind you that our most famous son, Thomas Hardy, was a great believer in ghosts. And it was only when he was in his 80s and he made one of
More people would come on a ghost walk than would come on a town walk, and yet there is still an opportunity in a ghost walk to show them parts of the town that they might not otherwise see, which, like the area we're in now, is visually attractive, but also to point out and to build in some of that extraordinary story of the town.
So prosperous was Dorchester and so well established that there was actually a school of mosaicists based in Durnaveria, so that
I've always been interested in you know, where do we come from? What's it all about? And we're so rich in it. I mean, it's, how did people exist? Everybody says, oh, I like the good old days. But were they so good? They were rough and they were tough. Do we really want to go back? Oh, no, we don't. But in going forward, we must never lose sight of that which is most precious. And we only know that, and we can only distinguish what is worth saving if we have some sense of the past. People today should care about the past. People should question, where did we come from? How did we get here? And if you can't answer those questions, how can you begin to suggest where we might be going? We must have an understanding of the past, and there is so much of it around us that to ignore it would be the grossest of follies.
What have you people been up to? You've been practising? You've been to a special service? What's this at night? Coming out of the church, singing? Rehearsing for what? For the Jubilee concert or something?
Yes, next week.
Next, the morning service.
Oh, is it? O passenger, pray list and catch our sighs and piteous groans, half stifled in this jumbled patch of wrenched memorial stones. We, late lamented, resting here, amixed to human jam, and each to each exclaims in fear, I know not which I am.
I believe that over time people will pay an increasing amount of respect for their past. And if it is presented well, and the best of new techniques are combined with the oldest of buildings and the oldest of stories, then you can make it very, very exciting, even for the most hardened person who only thinks about now and the future. We can do that.
From restorations of thy fane, from smoothings of thy sword, from zealous churchmen's pick and plain, deliver us, O Lord. Amen.